Bluff City Media presents the Two Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Two Buck Sports Show on Bluff City Media. It is Monday. We are live because of just a busy weekend and family, Thanksgiving, birthday party and stuff. Rusty and I was not able to pre-record yesterday.
Yep.
So instead, we are totally live, and I'm Uncle Buck, and I, to my right here, have Mr. Kenny Stubblefield. And if you can't tell, I'm rubbing the top of his head.
No, and I need you to redo this whole thing. I like it when you call me Blockhead. I'm just gonna be honest with you. When you call me old Blockhead, like it's fun.
Blockhead Stumblefield.
Yeah, I'm here, baby. I'm here.
So, how are you? Did you have a good weekend? Don't give us too much because we've got our best in beef coming up.
It was a great weekend.
Perfect. Well, it's Monday. It's the first show of the week, and so we're going to recap our weekends in a segment we call our best and beef of the week. Perfect. You're 1 for 1, Kenny.
Dude,
I'm telling you.
I got in here and I practiced before you showed.
You're 1 for 1.
I got in here and I practiced. I was like, let me run the ship for just a little bit. It's like It's like when you go from I have to push the buttons for Anthony on his show, and it's like it's like a new cockpit. Like I'm over here. It's the same. It's the same idea, right? Like it's the same. I'm flying a plane, right?
Right.
But it's totally different buttons. Totally different cockpit. Yeah.
When Rusty and I came over to Bluff City Media, when we were recruited and we put on the Bluff City Media hat, and we were introduced for the first time StreamYard. And so we just did Skype and we recorded it. There was no graphics. There was no anything. And we made the joke that we were used to driving a jalopy and y'all just threw us keys to a spaceship. And so just bear with us. And we've still Rusty's figured it out.
Rusty's gotten good with it. Yeah.
He is the I don't want to call him a mastermind, but he is the button pusher and the organizer.
Yes.
And I'm just kind of the loose cannon. And so when Rusty's gone, y'all know better than anybody. Like, it's a mess. And it'll be clunky anytime we're trying to get into or out of anything. But the middle part, the meat and lettuce and tomato part of the sandwich, it's pretty good.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. All the other trappings, all the other trimmings, who cares? Yeah. Right? Like, let's just, hey, they're here for you. Look at that face. Like, they're here for your face, bro.
I think this microphone just takes up too much of it. All right, so it's Monday. It's the first show of the week, and it's the first segment of the show. That means we recap our weekends. Kenny and I, we've been friends for like 3 years now. I believe it's going on 3 years with 2 years with Bluff City Media. 2 years with Bluff City Media. And we don't talk much over the weekend, because we have lives, kids, things to do, places to be.
Yeah.
And so we, on our first segment of our first show of the week, we do our best in beef. And for time, we concentrated down to 2 points.
Yes.
The best thing that happened to us this week and our biggest beef of the weekend. And it is brought to us by Donna's Italian Beef in Iuka, Mississippi. If you want an Italian beef, you want a slug burger, you want anything good to eat, you can find it on the menu at Donna's Italian Beef. There's a new cork board up for business cards. And the only business card there is the $2 Buck Sports Show card. Take a picture of it. Tell Jim that you saw us. Jim is kin. That's what we say in Mississippi. They're kin to Rusty. First cousins.
K-I-N. K-I-N. I was like, Jim is kin. So is he kin?
Jim is a kinfolk to Rusty. And so let him know that Rusty said you heard about us on the $2 Buck Sports Show. He'll take care of you.
Absolutely.
And he's nice enough to provide the first segment of the week. Our best and beef of the week. So, Kenny, I set him up. You knock him down. It's the best thing that happened to you this week.
I'm the kind of person when I'm a food consumer. All right.
Yes.
But I am the kind of individual that when I eat, if I find something that I like, I can eat it and eat it and eat it.
Yes.
I don't need variety. Right, like I need. If I find something that I like, I'll eat the heck out of it for as many days as possible. Like that's just the way I am. I do like to be reintroduced to food though, and I was reintroduced to something this weekend that I love these things more than it's probably good for me. Especially as somebody who has the diabetes. I have to be very careful.
One of your loved ones been diagnosed with diabetes?
If you got the diabetes, Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley, that's the name I was trying to remember.
That's kinfolk to me. Because we got the diabetes. My wife, the greatest place in the world to shop is Costco. Like, I love going to Costco.
Okay, I agree with you, except I don't have a Costco, so I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to search and replace Costco with Sam's Club.
It's great. They're both the same. They're fair, 100%. There's just you could just go, and it's just there's so many. The food is good. There's so much stuff there you can get. You can go there for everything.
Yes.
My wife, when she goes when it's Costco time to go, when it's time to go shopping at Costco, I get excited because there's specific things at Costco that she gets that we don't normally. It's not a Target order. It's not a Kroger order. It's a Costco specific thing. Mm-hmm. Bagels are Costco specific, and
boy, you're way more cultured than I thought you were. Bagels,
I don't get bagels often until she goes to Costco, and I freaking love bagels, dude. I had a bagel.
What do you put on your bagel?
So this is where I cut the bagel in half. I toast it. I toast it once. I put it in there, toast it, and then I put my finger on the top of the bagel and I rotate it around to make sure it is the top specifically proper. And then I retoast it. So I toast it, double toasted a bagel, and then I just bought these little egg shapers that you can put in the. So I put
I have one
egg shaper. Throw an egg in there. Perfect round egg, a fried egg, and I put it on top, put a slice of cheese in the middle, and then I put another egg on top, and then I top it with Chick-fil-A sauce.
Okay, well, I was getting ready to hate on you, but whereas I've not been a big fan of bagels, I like the setup. I like the setup a lot. We are big on English muffins in our house right now.
Yes.
And that started with McDonald's, and we got addicted to the sausage McMuffin with egg at McDonald's, which is a class unto itself, a tier to itself. There is no second. There shouldn't even be a second tier when
McDonald's
tier one.
McDonald's
it is great.
Is the best. It's the best.
But then we got to realizing that, hey, we're spending like $10 like 4 days a week going and getting English. I mean, going and getting sausage McMuffins. And so I bought the egg shaper. I bought the McMuffins. I like the freezer sausage, not the pre-cooked freezer sausage, but just the discs of raw sausage you can buy in the platters.
Yes.
I go buy the spicy sausage and we make sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffins regularly in our house. Dude, and so
I like the English muffins. They're fine, but put that on a bagel and I'm calling it a day. Like I had a bagel right before we got on dude, it's so good. My best thing of this weekend was being reintroduced to a bagel, and it's made me so happy.
All right. My best of the week is food related as well, because it is the holiday season, which means you're getting together with family and friends, and what you do in the South when you get together is you eat. That's how it is. We don't go bowling. We go out to eat. We don't go hang out. Yeah. We go eat. Whatever it is. Mexican restaurant business is the most lucrative business in the South. Yeah. And that's because all you do with your friends is you just go eat. And we hosted a Friendsgiving on Saturday night, which I love hosting. Anyways, you know me. I host. Yeah. I'm a co-host of a podcast, so you know I'm not shy. I'm a people person. I like to host. I like people at my house to eat my food. I want to be the guy that provides the good time. I love it. So we had friends over on Saturday night. Rusty stood us up, which is par for the course.
I didn't get an invite, which is par for the course, but whatever.
Well, hey, you will have it next time. I promise. Like I said, I'm always looking. My wife was in charge of the invite list. Lots of church folks involved. Not that you would not be welcome with the church folks, but that was kind of the scope that she went to on that one. Gotcha. And so Rusty just said, "Hey, I'm in town." I was like, "You want to come by?" If Kenny would have sent me the "Hey, you up?" text, I'd been like, hey, yeah, absolutely, come by. And you know what you would have gotten, which is my best of the week, is my favorite thing to cook every year. I got a big green egg for a wedding present 5 years ago. We're about to celebrate our 5th anniversary, and I made me a turkey. And I could describe this turkey to you, but it wouldn't do very good. So I'm just going to show you a picture of this turkey.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
That, my friend, is a good bird.
That's a good bird.
Yeah. They say chickens are nervous birds, but turkeys, that turkey was fire. I mean, I don't mind bragging on myself. I feel like when it comes to Ole Miss and it comes to the Grizzlies, I also like to be fair, and I'll be critical of myself.
Right.
I don't want everybody to just think I'm a homer, especially about myself. That's called egotistical. I don't feel like I'm that, but I will give myself credit. And that bird was fabulous. I in turn immediately took the first bite, sent the large family group message. You've got your immediate family group message with your parents and your sisters. Then you've got the cousin group message. I don't know if you are a part of one of those. It's got like 30 people in it.
Oh, I've muted that group text.
Oh, it's muted. It's for sure muted, but it still exists. And I sent a picture in the Michael family group message and said, I will bring the turkey at Thanksgiving. And everybody's like, okay. I'm confident right now.
How does your dad feel about that? My dad would be like,
removed himself from the group message years ago. He hates group messages. He couldn't care less if I'm bringing the turkey. He wants to come and he wants to stay for 30 minutes. Everybody see him so he can leave.
There you go.
Too many kids. There are 16 great grandkids that are going to be in there. They're all 12 years of age and younger, and there's 16 of them. My dad wants no part of it.
He's like,
he wants no part of it.
That's hilarious. No, I have a feeling that if I were to send that text in the group text, my dad would be like, brother, let me tell you something. And then I would get he would come over to the house because he lives like 2 minutes away, and he'd beat me up and then go back home. That's what he would do.
He's like, this is my Thanksgiving, it's my turkey.
Don't even think about.
Well, see, I will be that way. I will be that way. Like my dad is not a he likes smaller crowds and little noise. You go one of two ways, I think, when you get older and you start having grandkids and everything. They either make you younger or they make you like really want quiet. And it's just got a pretty short shelf life for my old man when it comes to. And I can't say that I blame him. We went from like 11 years ago, my niece was born, the first grandkid. Yeah. And since then, from then until next March, because my sister is pregnant with my wife right now, it will be 10 grandkids in like 12 years.
Dude.
And
I'll tell you what, there's something about that Gann family, man. Y'all know how to get pregnant and have babies, man. Y'all,
but we will have had 8 the normal way, and then 2 the expedited way.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Shout out to the bird. So like, let's rank this real quick. Let's rank bird like meat for holidays. All right. Turkey, chicken, ham.
Oh, that's the order for me.
Oh, really?
Because it's the holidays, I want turkey. Like, chicken's great. Chicken's a year-round bird. But turkey, especially when it's done right, is incredible. To me, it's different. You can do. I like the breading on it. I mean, I'm just a huge fan of turkey. I could care less if I ever ate ham again.
Yeah. Oh no, come on, you're crazy.
I'm a kind of a hater of ham, it's particularly Thanksgiving ham, where it's like that sweet. Like if I had a country ham, that's one thing. I don't want any part of like a honey ham. I don't like it.
Yeah, Paul, I'm with you. He kind of got me at first when he said that.
At the same time,
sister pregnant with his wife.
I know this is 2025 and anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
And it's Mississippi, but no. No, it's not.
I was like,
no, we're not crossing both boundaries in this one. We're good people. It's just coincidentally pregnant alongside my wife in the timeline. Come on, Freak. Your name's Freak Show, Paul. Yeah. I know where his head is.
Yeah, you never lied.
Freak Show Paul over here.
And Jared said it. You live in Mississippi. It would not be.
Everybody loves to bash on Mississippi, except for like the only thing different between North Mississippi and South Tennessee is an imaginary line. Okay, like that nobody can see. There's just a sign that says you're in Tennessee, but it looks the same.
It looks exact same. We talk the same.
There is no difference.
100%. So, all right, King Meek says turkey, ham, chicken. Turkey, chicken, ham. Jared Davidson.
Jared,
y'all are big turkey guys. I'm not a big turkey guy. I'll go chicken, ham, turkey.
But there's a line of demarcation with turkey. Like sliced turkey, okay, just put it in ham. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. Like store-bought stuff. I'm talking about if you're going to spend time and craft something, like a turkey can be done so much better than just your run-of-the-mill. Like, don't go to the deli and go buy a pre-cooked turkey Cajun. Buddy, I spent time, about 4.5 hours on this turkey, and it is an elite bird.
I'm proud of you. It looked elite. That picture did not do it. I
can't wait to be done with this show so I can eat leftovers.
Oh my!
Let's hurry up.
let's get done.
I'm gonna throw some dressing on and some turkey on a sandwich bun.
Bro,
it's gonna be great.
Mac and cheese over the holiday. I don't eat mac and cheese any other time except for the holidays, and I love
your kids are grown then. Cause
my son. Oh no,
all the time.
There's tons of mac and cheese in the house. I just don't like it. I'm not a big fan. But homemade mac and cheese. Oh my god!
And also, shells over elbow noodles. Because anybody who does elbow noodles is a communist.
That's probably true. Yeah. Which turkey is better, grilled or fried?
I don't know. You can't really mess it up as long as it's juicy and it's got a good crust to it.
It's got to be juicy. I don't care. That's my problem with turkey is that I feel like
let it sit. Don't start cutting on that thing when it's still moist. You gotta let it sit. It's like a steak. You gotta let it sit. I put mine on the green egg, so I guess that's not really grilled. I guess it's more smoked in my ceramic.
That's a smoked turkey. Yeah.
And so that's what I prefer, but that's just because that's what I've got. So.
That's what you got. Yeah.
All right, let's go to our beefs. We've spent a lot of time talking about our best of the week, and if we don't have any beefs, I guess that's great. But you got a beef of the week?
Yeah, my beef is just the weather. My sinuses have been acting crazy the last 2 days because it was super warm like 2 days ago, and now there's a pretty good chill in the air, and my sinuses. I had to, not to be too graphic, I had to blow my nose for about 5 minutes before we got on the show today. I'm just tired of it, man. I cannot stand Memphis weather. Like this area, the Mid-South, its weather and air quality and all that kind of stuff sucks anyway. And then when you get the temperature changes like this, the whatever it is, man, my sinuses just go haywire. So yeah. I'm tired of it. That's my beef.
I'm with you, and I'll make mine. Jared took mine to quote the great American philosopher from Michigan, Kid Rock.
Right.
I ain't seen the sunshine in 3 whole days. It's just not. It's not here. I'm starting to wonder if it exists.
But it was hot though. Like yesterday was weird because it was still hot outside. Like it was humid and rainy and all this, but it was still warm.
It's
and
that kind of weather that if you're in the sun, you're hot, and if you're in the shade, you're cold. And it's just you need a light hoodie, but you're probably going to roll the sleeves up so far that you're going to expand the cuff to where it just annoys you the rest of your life.
I just don't like it.
So. All right, that's our Best of Beef segment of the week. It's brought to you by Donna's Italian Beef. It's what we do every Monday edition of the $2 Sports Show in our first segment where we just have a little off sports topic, see how life's treating us, and we boil it down to our best and our beef of the weekend. So now we're going to get to Grizzlies stuff, and for a weekend that only had one game, buddy, I guess we got lots and lots and lots to talk about. So we're going to hit you with that right now. So, we've done our best and beef of the weekend here on the $2 Sports Show on Bluff City Media. I want to thank everybody in the comments. We've got all of our friends here, Jared and King Meeks. We even got Super Freak over here talking about cross-pollinating.
Sisters and wives being pregnant with each other.
Yeah, he's either Mormon or from Arkansas. I don't know, but he's a freak nonetheless. And he's welcome here, as is everybody in the comments. If you're watching on Facebook right now or Instagram, I would like to cordially invite everybody over here to YouTube where all the cool cats are at. we are part of the show, but in my opinion, the best part of the show lives in the comment section of YouTube, because that's where all of our friends hang out and intermingle with each other. Wayno has woken up from across the pond down under, and he's now joined us now. So
to the land down under.
And if you're in YouTube or you want to meander over to YouTube just for a second, if you're going to do one thing, just give us the thumbs up. It helps us out a ton. So helps us spread the good word of the $2.
There you go.
And I believe that's New Testament. So
it is. That's in the New Testament. It's in the Gospel of
the book of Kenneth. The Gospel of Kenneth. Yeah.
It's in the book of Philemon.
Philemon.
See?
I had a big debate over that one time. Somebody called it Philemon, and I was like, buddy, I've always thought that was Philemon. That's how we pronounce it. Yeah, I don't.
It's Philemon.
Like, Philemon. I was like, we were at I don't think we went to my sister church. It was in Alabama or something. And I was like, they said Philemon. I was like, buddy, I ain't never heard this book of the Bible before.
Buddy, I don't know what you're talking about, but it's Philemon. What you talking about?
Philemon. It's basically 2 words. Mr. Freak Show over here has dropped a pin on where he's located, and indeed, he is keeping Austin weird.
Yes.
So,
Austin,
right.
Texas, baby.
You're talking about an ecosystem that is totally and completely set apart from the rest of Texas.
Yes,
that's what Austin is. If you've ever been there or not, it is not what you think Texas is.
I don't know
like
if
Oxford, Mississippi. It's a pocket of weirdness amongst a state of just more or less normal people.
Normal people, right? Like Austin is such a weird. Texas is so big, but it's also so like I was born. Yeah. It's so uniform. I was born in Fort Worth, Texas. I lived down in the down in the Rio Grande Valley for 3 years in Texas. Like it's all so the same, and then you get to Austin, and I'm like,
and then everything west of Austin is just dirt. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So the Grizzlies had a weekend. They extended their win streak to 2, having back-to-back wins for the first time all season. In our Beale Street Heat check, we're in our second stint here, and the Grizzlies are now 2-5. They've won 2 after losing 6 consecutive games with a 102-96 win in Dallas, Texas. That comes back up. It's always about Texas. Always comes back to Texas.
Always Texas.
And so Grizzlies get a 6-point win in a game that was fun. I mean, let's not pretend like it was a high level of basketball being played, but we like competitive basketball. I mean, you just had beaten you snapped your 6-game losing streak by beating the Kings by 41 in a game I'm sure nobody just enjoyed watching by the third quarter, middle of the third quarter, because it was just like elementary at that point. Like you're not even kind of watching that closely.
Right.
This was a game you were into for 48 minutes, and Cedric Coward kind of stopped the frenetic pace at the end there, was able to take the ball, take the air out of it, go get fouled, and end it. It was a fun game.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't a high quality NBA basketball game, but it was competitive, which is fun. What's interesting is this? It's a make or miss league, right?
That's right.
And the games are the same way. The games are make or miss games. And there was a lot of missed shots in that game, but it wasn't like there was a lot of bad offense. Does that make sense? Like, it was highly contested. Not great basketball. There were a few moments where even the announcers, Pete Parenica and Brevin Knight were like just laughing at some of the things that were happening, but highly competitive. Well thought. I mean, lots of energy. And
I think that's where we're going to spend most of our time, is talking about some of the energy on the court and what trickled into off the court and into the media. But to put a button and to just supply facts to what we call an ugly game in a make and miss league, the most points scored by any team in any quarter was 33. It happened one time. That was the only time either team got into the 30s.
That's so crazy.
The field goal percentage, I'll do Grizzlies then Mavericks for all of these. 40 to 38.5. 3-point percentage, 25.8 to 33.3. And see, turnovers, 12 turnovers for the Grizzlies to 10 to the Mavericks. The Grizzlies out-rebounded them by 20, 61-41 overall.
That was it. That was the stat. That was the stat to me that won them the game, is that they were able to control the boards, control the paint.
And 12. Like I said, they out-rebounded them by 20 total. Out-rebounded them by 12 on the offensive boards.
Yep, that's it.
So
a lot more shots.
It was a big game, and Zach Edey is to blame for a lot of that. Be the first one to admit it. I've never thought he was a terrible basketball player. I have my skeptics on how they play in the postseason, and at the time when we drafted him, it was all about postseason success. And here we are at 6-11, and I'm like, hey, Zach, if it's got to be Zach Edey, buddy, bring him to me. Like, whatever it takes to get some energy. And there was a lot of energy in that game, and it was capped off by John Morant going at Klay Thompson, calling him a bum, which, for the record, I support 100%. Like, Klay Thompson's a bum. He's washed. He took a three from the freaking circle at half court in a 3-point game that he was bad short on, and he got told he was a bum, and I appreciated it.
Yep. Let me ask you this before we get to that part. I wanted to ask you: our 2-game winning streak, breaking the 6-game losing streak. Is it, in your opinion, the start of something, or is it just, man, they played really, really bad teams and won those games?
I hope it's I hope it's both. I hope it's the start of something, but it's got to be both. I talked about it on Friday's show when we talked about recapping the Sacramento game, the 40.1-point win. If you win a game, a lot of times you can go both ways. Well, did Team A play well, or did Team B lose and play poorly? When it's a 40.1-point margin, it's both. Every time. You played really well and the other team played poorly. And then you move on to Dallas, and Dallas is bad. They are extremely injured with Kyrie and Anthony Davis barely playing or not even playing at all far.
Derek Lively.
And it's Cooper Flagg has not had a good start to the year. He is the centerpiece, and they're letting him take a bunch of L's and get it out of his system, learn the hard way. Mm-hmm. And it's both. But confidence is key. And if you feel like you can play with anybody, then chances are there is not for a team that's 6-11, you cannot be more confident than Memphis is right now going to play Denver tonight. Denver is a smoke show. If it wasn't for Oklahoma City, we'd be talking about Denver nonstop. They've been absolutely incredible. And confidence is key, and you can build that confidence any sort of way. You can manufacture it. You can lie to yourself. I've said fake it till you make it. But the truth is, in recent history, you're 2-0 with 2 wins, one in a blowout and one in a clutch situation in which you won. And so I hope that just snowballs. And no matter where you start the snowball from, whether it's manufactured, you played bad teams, or you beat good teams and figure it out, you got to start that snowball, and I'm hoping that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, I think we have to. I think there's something written in the podcasting handbook, a contract that we have to talk about John Klay. So we're going to talk about that. But a lot of this success. Can we be honest? Like, and I want you to expand on this because you freaked everybody out. Everybody wants me to clip it. You said something positive about Big Maple.
This isn't the first time this season. I mean, he's played 4 games, and I've been positive about him every time.
Like, Zach Edey's return has absolutely changed the way this Grizzlies team looks. Even they're 2-2 in his 4 games.
Yeah.
But they've looked infinitely better in those 4 games.
Yeah. Listen, there is an intangible quality to Zach Edey that I opined at great lengths about with Cedric Coward. Just there's something about when he walks out on the court as a rookie, which was so impressive to me for Coward, and I spent a lot of time on it. Such an intangible quality that they walk out and just things change. Things happen. Yes. They play harder. And I hate how, and I really lament the fact that I want that to be John Jaren, and it's just not, and it bothers me to no end. But it is in spades. You can see it in spades with Edey and with Cedric, that when they walk on the court, you get more rebounds, you get more hustle plays, you don't quit, and so I think you can tie that to Edey. I think that there is just a quality about both of them where Zach Kleiman, you talked about dogs, and I think the moves that you would attribute him to going to get more dogs have not paid off. You know, I'm talking about in particular KCP. Like you went and got KCP and Smart because you wanted dogs, and both of those didn't pay out. But you drafted two. You drafted two that are dogs. Cam Spencer is a dog. You know, to quote Zach Kleiman, he's a gosh dang pit bull or whatever he said at the end of last season. Like he was absolutely incredible in that Dallas game. But yeah, there's an absolute mentality change different, and you can see that. To take it back to Ja just for a second, you can see that on the bench. Ja's invested now, and I made a joke that, you know, maybe Ja's career is in coaching. You know, maybe because buddy, he looks a lot more invested on the sidelines of street clothes than he does in a uniform so far this year. Because and maybe it's Clay brings out the dog in him, but he was all the way in on the sidelines in his tracksuit, and I appreciated seeing that. That's not a complete dig at Ja. I like seeing that. I like seeing the bark. I love seeing him go at Klay Thompson and call him a bum, and for Klay to go do his best work in a post-game interview, which is where he's done his best work for the last 5 years. The only time anybody's talked about him is when he's crashing out on the Grizzlies in a post-game press conference.
Yeah, he's so
– because it's not game that we're talking about Klay Thompson about. It's post-game press conference remarks. And
even though that was probably Klay's best game he's had in a couple of years, right? Like he actually shot the ball pretty well. He was good. Yeah,
except for when it mattered most. He yelled Curry and then clanked it off the front of the iron.
This ain't Golden State, buddy. This isn't Golden State's rims. I just think it's such a weird – to go back to Edey for one last second.
We're going to ping-pong this for a long time, aren't we?
We are. Because I don't really care about John Clay. Like I don't.
Well, and that was going to be my point. It's like, why in the world are we talking about? Like why is this a story? Yeah,
I care, but I don't care. I like talking basketball. Yeah. I think it's a weird juxtaposition of how you bring a 7'5", 300-pound big man onto the floor, and the space and the pace look absolutely light years difference. When the whole knock against Edey has been, will he slow the Grizzlies down? Will he not be able to provide pace and space for the Grizzlies? Adding this giant monster to this game has absolutely made the team look better in terms of their pace and their space. And I think that's why I love basketball so much, because that does not like logically make sense. You add a 7'5", 300-pound big man to the game, you would think that it would be a slowed down in the mud kind of version of that game. But adding him to the Grizzlies has allowed for things to look and play and just feel better in terms of their ability to get space on the floor, to get up and down the floor. I just think it's been an incredible seamless fit so far.
So I'm going to give you the reason why that is, and also give you a reason why I'm not ready to say that we figured it out either, or that Edey is the sole answer. All right. First off, the reason why he has fixed the pace is because you're getting more defensive rebounds and outlet passes, and you're also getting blocks.
Yes.
And you were able to get out in transition. Pace doesn't work if you're taking the ball out of the basket every time. The Grizzlies have tried harder than anybody that I've ever seen in taking made baskets and turning them into transition points, and you're able to do that with Ja Morant, but it's not foolproof, and it's not the way you need to go about getting out in space. It makes it exponentially harder when you're taking it out of the net every time and trying to get transition basket out of the it's very hard to do. And so Edey provides rebounding, and he provides critical shot blocking and able to get out and do it. And as I said, Edey will never be called fast, and I've often wondered how in the world you do that. But it's also not a foot race. Like, we're not relay racing here. We're not all lining up on the baseline, and that's not how fast break points are awarded. Somebody's got to start it, and if Edey's just going to be the guy that takes it off the rim and gets it to half court as quick as possible, then great. I mean, it's going to work.
Yep.
And so let me counter this, and this is something we talked about last week's show, when I said I'm not going to overreact to offensive successes and say that this offense is working now and is the solution now, because it's still without superstars. You're going to get Jaren Jackson Jr. back, but this is a ragtag bunch of guys, role players, that are extremely capable of playing a role. And in this offense, the communist offense that was last year and replaced by, I've got to come up with a better offense this year. I got to come up with a better name. But for this year's offense, these role players can excel at these because nobody is better than the sum of their parts when these are the players that are playing. The problem is when John Morant gets out there, he needs to be featured. This offense has got to change in some aspect because he's got to be featured. It can't be the whole Jaws in the corner decoy thing that we saw last year and we saw this year. The minutes have got to up. The utilization for Ja has got to up, or he's going to lose that little spark that we saw Friday night against Dallas from the bench.
I'm going to push back a little bit. I think Ja's at his peak when he's facilitating to other people.
That's true, but even in this offense, he wasn't facilitating.
Well, but
he didn't have the ball in his hands.
I understand that, but that's why it's hard to sit. The team has looked a lot better with Edey back, but obviously 7 minutes. No. Okay. Don't do that. 7 minutes in to Edey's return, Ja went out with the calf strain, right?
Right.
And then the very next game, Jaren went out with the ankle injury. He'll probably be back tonight. So, but you saw a level of, even in those first 7 minutes of the game against Cleveland with Zach Edey back in the game, that the team, Ja was in his bag, facilitating, getting to the rim, pick and rolls, all those kind of things. It looked different out there. The energy looked different. I think Ja is not your normal kind of on-ball guy that needs to score the ball to be effective.
He is an extremely, but he does have to touch the ball.
Yes, and I think I think you will see that a lot. There's just no way you can tell me that this offense is going to look infinitely better with a guy like Vince Williams and Cam Spencer on ball, and then you add Ja Morant to the equation with Zach Edey. There's no way you're going to tell me it's not going to look better. Like,
well, of course. I mean, you look at that on paper and you say, yes, of course. The problem is we've seen Ja in this offense quit, and so that's what I worry about. Is Ja going to appreciate the role that he's got in this offense? And Ja is better than Vince Williams and Cam Spencer. Breaking news: Ja is better.
Right.
However, we have seen a reluctance to adapt into an offense that he doesn't like, and that's my holdup. And maybe Edey solves that. Lord knows, I hope. I do not pray on the downfall in order to be right. Like I'm not that guy.
I think Edey solves it. I think having Edey out there doing what he's doing will solve all of the frustrations you saw out of Jaren, all the frustrations you saw out of Ja. I wish it wasn't necessarily that way. I wish those guys led the way, but I think Edey solves those problems because of what he does on the floor. I think what he provides on the floor. Now, let's get to Ja and Clay. I don't care.
And we don't have to spend a lot of time on it. My beef with this is that it became like another rallying point for the anti-Ja movement, and it is just the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It is so lame that nobody can talk, or Ja can't even talk anymore. And instead of, and listen, am I going to like die on a hill like Ja Morant was in street clothes? I mean, you were in street clothes. That is a knock against you again.
Clay wasn't lying. Clay wasn't lying.
Clay wasn't lying. However, it's a non-story. And if anything, it's good. I loved it. For a player that we have accused of quitting in basketball games before, he's in a game in which he's not participating and barking and being the guy that we loved. I'm going up the chimney. We ain't ducking no smoke. Like, I want to see that guy. That is the key. We talk about Edey and everything else, and Edey is a key. The key will always be Ja Morant. And when we've worried about him being invested or happy,
and now we're complaining about it. Now we're complaining.
Well, Memphis isn't complaining.
Yes, they are. Yeah. Yes, they are. That's the part that I've been most disappointed in. Is there are so many. They're just trying to, like, Memphis fans that are trying to sound smarter than everybody else. And I'm like, just shut up and play ball.
There's no downside to this. You got the win, and you got to, because you won, you got to talk trash. And just like Klay Thompson has got 4 rings and he's put the Grizzlies out as a Golden State Warrior multiple times, if he wants to talk, he can too. We can yell at each other and it be fun. Okay,
it's fun
and it's fun. All right, let's.
Devin Walker said this, and I want to. Devin Walker from Grind City Media said this, and I just want to reiterate it because I think it's so true. Why do we have to write think pieces about every little situation? Klay doesn't like the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies don't like Klay. End of story. That's it.
It's simple.
And that's okay.
And it doesn't have to be anything more than that.
That's it.
Everybody likes to talk about the hashtag this league, and we like the drama. We like the small roster sizes mean you have an intimate knowledge of just about every player that plays in this NBA. You get to get into the psychology. You get to get into the drama and the TMZ of this league. But it doesn't have to be that. It can be just fun at face value. All right. There was one other development as far as the Memphis Grizzlies go over the weekend that we need to talk about, and that is that Ty Jerome was reevaluated, and 3 days later they released that he is going to be out at least another, was it 5 to 9 weeks? Which is
6 to 9 weeks.
6 to 9 weeks. He was a high-grade calf sprain. That's a bummer. No doubt about that. That is not the news that we wanted to hear. There's no doubt in my mind that this is a response to the frequent Achilles tearing after a calf strain.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a bummer. We agree. This is where I get nervous, is one Ja Morant, who we've just spent time talking about, having that fire back on the sideline, chirping, being Ja, the old Ja that we love, has a calf strain, a low-grade calf strain, in which I believe they said, what was the timeline that GrizzPR put out for Ja? 1 to 2 weeks?
2 weeks to being reevaluated, right?
Reevaluated in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That makes me nervous for the reevaluation process.
Yeah, no, I mean, calf strains are weird, man. I don't understand necessarily, and we obviously lean on Rusty for his expertise on these things when it comes to these kinds of soft tissue injuries. And I think he's as confused as anybody else, based on what we saw almost initially a week after the injury happened. He was already doing some light exercises and walking around without a boot and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Meeks said, Jared said it could have been a setback, could have been precaution. They haven't told us that. We don't know what happened. I'll be honest with you. The conspiracy theorist in me, I started sniffing a little tank, a little slow roll of injury, maybe injury comebacks. I started sniffing that out a little bit. Like, this is the first sign that maybe the Grizzlies are not going to force their injuries back quickly because they are not really necessarily aiming for something.
I can get there. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, just especially when it comes to the NBA. Although I don't think it takes a conspiracy to want a tank. I mean, that's a pretty prevalent thing that happens in the NBA.
Right.
And our team is ran by a bunch of nerds who I guarantee you are crunching numbers. And the fact that Phoenix and Orlando are now doing good doesn't help our odds of wanting to tank.
Right.
And I'm completely and totally anti-tank. I think it's bad for our culture. We are constantly talking about a team relocating in a lease with the FedEx Forum in the city of Memphis that has been halted, if not or stalled, and not signed. Like, it is antithetical to the culture of Memphis and what the Memphis Grizzlies stand for. If they tank, I feel like that should be the final nail in the coffin of Zach Kleiman. I don't want a GM that wants to tank. I don't want to talk about a team selfishly that wants to tank. And just as a person and a fan of this team, outside of my podcast responsibilities, don't want to watch a team on TV tank. It's garbage, and I don't want any part of it.
Once you get into that tank mode, it's very difficult to get out of the tank mode.
No, you look at Washington, you look at Charlotte, you look at all these teams that just keep on tanking for players. They never turn it around. It's not an end-all, be-all. Very rarely do you see a team that gets the top 3 pick that had the top 3 worst record. You look at last year, Dallas, who barely missed the play-in, got the number 1 pick. The year before that, it was the same story with San Antonio with Wemby. When the Grizzlies got Ja, they had like the 8th or 9th best odds at a top 3 pick. They were rewarded with Ja. Like, you just don't see Charlotte. In fact, the team with the worst record the last 2 years, I believe, or 3 years, ended up with a 5th pick every time.
Right.
Like, it's not a recipe for success. You will not convince me otherwise.
I agree. And once again, I said initially I started to sniff it out, like, that kind of set some triggers off in me of, could this potentially be that? I don't think that it is. I'll be honest with you. I don't think that the Grizzlies are taking that kind of soft tank mentality. But I don't like.
I think.
Yeah.
I think that if you just look, it's more realistic to look at this in an injury by injury basis, and with the string of Achilles tears after calf injuries, that's more realistic. I think that's more realistic. Occam's razor to me, the most likely reason as to why, and or a setback, as Jared said. It could very well just.
And Jared's also right. Kleiman is in a contract year. Tanking makes 0 sense.
It depends on how invested you think Robert Perry is as to whether or not Kleiman is
I think it's Jason Wexler that would make those decisions more than likely. But
yeah. So,
anyway.
All right. That's our Grizzlies thought. The Grizzlies play tonight. I believe that's an 8 o'clock. Did I say that right? An 8 o'clock tip against the Denver Nuggets.
Yes, I think 7. Is it 7?
No, it's 7. It's a 7 p.m. local tip against the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets, according to FanDuel.com, if you want to gamble responsibly and do it at FanDuel on the app or on the online portal. Tell them you sent us. You can just say it into your phone like Bluff City Media sent us, and that does nothing. But it does make us feel better.
Yeah.
But the Nuggets are 8-point favorites in FedEx Forum. If you want the Grizzlies outright, you can get $100 and win you $265. So if you want to make a little money, ride the hot hand here. The Grizzlies have a hand that is more or less warm, not compared to Denver. Denver is 12-4, and I believe that gets them to second in the West.
Yeah, they're second in the West. They're very good. But they're also missing Aaron Gordon. He's going to be out for a minute with a hamstring situation. Christian Braun is out for an extended period of time.
Please.
Is it Braun or Brown?
They say Brown, but I boycott that. It's Braun.
Let's go Braun. Christian Braun is out for an extended period of time. So they've as much as unbelievable of a player as Nikola Jokic is, probably, I would say, I said this on Anthony's show, top 10 in all time at this point. Like, he's in that
If he would get one more ring, then yes, I'd be comfortable doing that. But if you're just talking about, when you start talking about all time, you do have to count rings to a certain extent. But
he might be the most skilled player that's ever played this game, to be honest with you. He just does everything.
Oh, absolutely.
He has had, last year, he had struggles with Zach Edey, facing off against a dude who's as big or bigger than him. There are struggles there. Aaron Gordon is the guy who has given the Grizzlies the most problems over the last few years, and he's out. So it's interesting that Nuggets -8. I might go the opposite direction on that and say, hey.
Yeah. The Grizzlies have had some wars with Denver when Denver is clearly the better team.
And Aaron Gordon has been a major part of why the Grizzlies have struggled against them, and he's out. So we'll see.
So look for Jaren Jackson Jr. You can get his over-under points at 19.5. You really need him to step up tonight. I'm curious to see how he fits in. If the offense is going to look the same.
Yeah.
So lots of things to look at. It's a very intriguing game tonight. It's not one that I'm dreading in the slightest. This is a really good team, but I'm not expecting a beatdown. I think that I am a fan, and I try to be middle of the road and honest and try to capture my own thoughts and formulate them before just speaking them out in public. I think that the Grizzlies are ready to be consistently competitive. That's what I think, and I think that that they can be competitive tonight.
I agree.
All right, let's move on. So we're going to take a break here. We get back. We've got some coaching rumor news. We completed week 13 of the college football season. There was one big upset. The rest of it was just a bunch of blah. We'll just touch base on it along with some coaching rumors, and I'm sure we'll have our obligatory Lane Kiffin update. And we'll do all that right after this break.
Some games define a season, but the Egg Bowl defines a state. It's not just a game. It's bragging rights, family lines, and hatred that few rivalries can match. Forget records and rankings. In this game,
unsportsmanlike conduct on all players from both teams.
The tradition is chaos, and this year could be the most yet. Mississippi State has something we haven't seen in years, a bite behind their bark. Starkville believes again, and the Cowbells will be out in force. Across the field, Ole Miss comes to town with everything to play for, but that's not what we're talking about. Lane Kiffin's dramatics hang like a dark cloud over Oxford. The Rebs have dodged distractions before, but never with this much on the line. This year's Egg Bowl promises to be crazy. It's for postseason positioning, state supremacy, and an opportunity to play spoiler like never before. What will be the story this year? The only guarantee in this game is chaos, and Grind City Brewing is your home for every single second.
In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem.
I was on the stream earlier, about like a minute left in the game. Me and Kenny were on, and I'm telling him, dude, just Doug missed the free throw. Missed the free throw. Wake Forest does not have a timeout, Doug. They don't have a timeout. There's 1.5 seconds left. Even if you're up by one, all they're going to do is fire up a three anyway. Miss the free throw. Don't let them run a set play for any reason. We know that craziness happens in sports. Not just basketball, not football, in sports, absolutely crazy things happen. So what was the best way to eliminate the craziness from happening? Miss the damn free throw.
Penny, you're a freaking point guard. What are you doing? Did you tell him to miss it? Like, are you telling him
probably
miss
not.
Miss it? Miss it?
Probably not. Memphis lost this game, straight up. They were in total control, as you said, Roman. And Memphis just lost this game, and it's incredibly frustrating.
Tune in to Tigers Live with Francis Carlotta, live after every Memphis Tiger basketball game on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Two Buck Sports Show Monday edition of the show here on Bluff City Media's YouTube and Twitter pages. I just can't say X. Listen, two thoughts on your commercials. First, the Grade A Pest Control commercial, maybe your best work yet.
I like it.
I've never gotten so pumped over a pest control commercial I've ever seen. I throw a lot of shade at you over your commercials, particularly the first commercial that we saw. But the pest control commercial was just straight fire.
Yeah, it was one of my favorites by far.
Two, I hope I wasn't insensitive in the Bluff City media chat, but I was stunned. I watched the last 2 minutes of that Wake Forest Memphis game that you guys were talking about on the Tigers Live postgame show clip that you just saw. I was stunned, and as an Ole Miss fan, I felt your pain a little bit because for years, decades, I've seen the Valparaiso Bryce Drew walk-off against Ole Miss from the way back in the day. It was a 13-4 upset, I believe, in the NCAA tournament. Valparaiso beating Ole Miss on that exact same play, and I immediately saw it and got in the Bluff City chat, and I was just like, they did the Bryce Drew, and I was like, I hope they didn't think I was rooting against them. I wasn't, but that was stunning.
I don't even want to talk about it. No,
good.
I mean, just coaching malpractice, bro. And listen, man, like the most egregious part of the entire thing was that Penny left that game with 2 timeouts. Like, and when you could have used them in that last 30 seconds, 2 minutes of actual game time, the last 30 seconds of actual game time, just to get your guys in a situation where, listen, man, they're in a hostile, volatile situation. Let's make sure we know exactly what we're doing, right?
I tend to disagree slightly. One, it's not hostile. It's a neutral site game in Maui or wherever it is.
It's the Bahamas, man. That's Wake Forest. That's Wake Forest 2.0 over there.
Is it? And two, you didn't have to coach anything other than just yell from the sideline, "Hey, Doug, throw this off the iron."
Hey, hey, Doug, miss this free throw.
Yeah. I guess you could have called a timeout to tell him in person and look at him in the eyes, but no, you just yell, "Hey, whatever number he is, Doug,
hey, Tiny,
just do the easiest thing possible and miss this free throw."
Yeah, Steve Forbes, the head coach of Wake Forest, said,
he's a good coach too.
He's a great coach, but he said after the game, he said our chances of winning exponentially increased when he made the second free throw. Well, of course it did. That's why we were all screaming, "Miss it!" What are you talking about? Oh my God!
All right, we're not talking about that anymore. We've got college football.
We're done.
So we had some SEC games. Vanderbilt trounced Kentucky. I think that the Diego Pavia Heisman campaign should be a lot higher than it is now. They need to go win on the road in Knoxville next week in rivalry week to really cement that. But I am firmly standing on the Diego Pavia needs an invite to Radio City Music Hall for the Heisman Trophy presentation. I'm not stumping for him to win it, but he deserves an invite as much as anybody in the world deserves an invite.
Is there a player in college football that's more that's been more key to the success of his team this year, other than Diego Pavia? That dude is awesome, and Vanderbilt is good. Like
because Vanderbilt is so tough, and I believe toughness comes from your leader being tough. Your coach can be tough. I don't think many people would say Tomas Islo talks tough, but John Morant needs to be tough, and that would trickle down. And Diego Pavia, I think getting him and the New Mexico State offensive coordinator in the tandem package deal 2 years ago was the best thing that Clark Lee did, and he could choose to stay at Vanderbilt, or he could parlay this into a big-time coaching job if he wants to leave and exit stage left with Pavia here. So Tennessee goes and beats Florida for the first time in Gainesville in 22 years. Florida's last punch was last week. Cannot wait to watch the Florida State game Saturday. Sad
futility.
That one will be on Cartoon Network.
Yes. Let me ask you this: are you surprised that Florida State's bringing Norvell back?
No, we're going to get to that. That's where I was going. It's a good place to go as any, because we could talk about Oklahoma, Missouri if you want to, but nobody wants to hear that. So that's where we were going. So Florida State did announce that they were going to keep Mike Norvell. And I'm sure Florida State fans are not pleased with that, but you've got to look at the state of college football right now. Yep. And you've got to look at the market in which you are entering. You would immediately enter in and shuffle, in my opinion, Auburn down the pecking order, Penn State probably down the pecking order, and Arkansas down the pecking order. You're not coming in at the bottom, but you are coming in last as the newest job on the market, which is hard to do. And I don't know Norvell's exact buyout, but it is a punitive buyout. I mean, it is a massive sum of money in which you have to have money to put together a team. If you're putting that money in a buyout, then you are consulting the same people that you're trying to get to pay for players to pony up more money, and it is just a hard thing to do.
Yep.
And I don't think that Norvell's a bad coach, but I think this goes to show you how critical it is to get it right when you put all your chips in on a quarterback. And 2 years in a row, they've got it wrong.
I agree. So. Yeah, I don't think he forgot how to coach.
I don't either. I think Norvell's a good coach.
I think the idea, and we can speak about this on Memphis as well. The rumors are out that Ryan Silverfield is
there's the buyout,
$58 million.
Yeah,
that's so. Then I mean, it is wild, and I think Florida State could do it. I think could probably sell a T-shirt and make $58 million pretty quickly, but I'm just not a fan of the constant fire talk. Like I think it is lame, and I think that I think you have got to give in this era where we complain about continuity on the rosters in our college sports to then turn around and say, we got to start firing coaches all the time is just lame to me. You need continuity to be able to be successful.
It is unfair. It's unfair for a couple of reasons. Or it's fair and unfair. I'm going to make a point for both. Like, it is in a era in which you have no continuity. It is harder to coach. You do have to kind of, I've talked about this before, you've got to be able to bake in a bad year. Like, because guess what? Somebody's going to get hurt, and these teams aren't as deep as they used to be, and you're going to have a year in which you were expected to be in the playoffs, and you're going to be 7-5, and you've got to be okay with that. You can't fire your coach after that. The rosters are much skinnier now. There's no depth. However, now more than ever, you are outsourcing money to fans. You're asking fans to buy tickets. You're asking fans on top of tickets to make donations. You're taking boosters in which you were asking to give $50,000 in a paper sack. You're asking them for millions
of dollars,
and then they are because they have such a much more skin in the game. They want immediate results. Imagine if it were your money that's being spent to buy these rosters, and Mike Norvell's not delivering wins. Like, you do have to. There is a balance there. I believe it's harder to coach now than it's ever been, but you're expected to do it more because the people who's paying for the coach are paying millions of dollars and offering, in a lot of cases, the money to fire him. Like, so it's weird times. It's weird times. I don't believe for 1 second that Mike Norvell forgot how to coach. In his first year, or first or second year, I don't remember which one, at Florida State, he took them to a 13-0 undefeated season.
Yep.
The difference is Jordan Travis was a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
DJ Ukulele has been an awful quarterback, and this year's experiment with Castellanos has been a bad run too. So you're not immune to it, and I don't have a problem with people who spend millions of dollars going because they've got a direct line to the AD and saying, hey, I don't like this, or fans who spend their disposable income on tickets and or donations to collectives say, hey, he's not managing it right. You want me to keep donating, or do you want to fire him?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Spot.
It is so much easier to fire coaches now because there's a way to silently protest, and that's by cutting off the funds, right? They're cutting off the NIL funds. If you don't like a coach and you want to get rid of them, just stop donating. Just stop giving money.
And that's why you see things like in Arkansas, where Arkansas came out and said, we're not that bad of a job because the new coach is going to get what Sam Pittman didn't do, and that's a lot more NIL money, because there's two things that drive influx of money when it comes to NIL. It is success or a fired coach and hope.
Yep.
And it sucks. I believe a coach's job's never been harder when it comes to you've got to recruit from so many more places. The timeline is wild, and you're kind of stuck with, needing the success to be immediate.
Yeah, I have it on good authority that Arkansas and their team of whoever's running the search for their coaching decision, they're offering right now $6 million a year with guaranteed $25 to $30 million in NIL payroll.
$6 million a year would be one of the lowest paid head coaches in the SEC.
Right.
So you're going to have to you're shopping for it. That sets your target pool. You're now looking at the G5 and coordinator realm because sitting head coach is going to take a pay cut to go to Arkansas.
Which is, if you've seen the top 4 names that have come out for the Arkansas job.
It's Golish, it's Silverfield, it's
a bunch of G5 guys. Yep.
Yeah. So, all right, let's you've got a clip. Ole Miss on Friday had their much anticipated meeting, which I tried to pour water on everybody's expectation on this. I doubt anybody listened. But what came out of this meeting was a statement typed up and delivered on X.com, which always inspires lots of confidence, that basically we had a good talk. We've decided to punt this conversation, and a decision is expected on Saturday after the Egg Bowl. So all of our focus is on Mississippi State, and despite what actually is happening around the world, we are just solely focused on the Egg Bowl.
All right, hot take. The decision's done. They just don't want to upset the potential Egg Bowl, or they don't want to upset upheaval in the coaching staff before the Mississippi State game.
I don't know that I
Lane is gone, right? He's gone. Right?
I would say that Lane is 75% gone. I don't think that Lane wants to stay at Ole Miss given the opportunity to go to LSU. That's what I believe. I believe that Lane, in a perfect world, and given truth serum and put on this podcast with me and Blockhead over here, he would say, I want to go to LSU. But more than my desire to go to LSU, or at least equal to my desire to go to LSU, is to coach this team that I've put together and coached for 6 years. I want to coach them through the playoffs, in which Ole Miss has told them, no, you're not doing that.
We'll let you stay to the Egg Bowl. How about that?
So you cannot realistically say that you are in the playoff unless you beat Mississippi State, which is a weird spot to be in. I don't like it, but it's just a fact. You've got to go beat a Mississippi State team that is 1-6 in the SEC. They're 5-6 overall. You're going to be a 10 or more point favorite. A game you should win, but it's an Egg Bowl. It's a rivalry. Things are weird. But you've got to win that. So what gives us the best shot? And I think this is kind of what the crux of the conversation on Friday was in their all-important meeting, was it came down to what gives us the best chance to win Friday against Mississippi State. And it's probably Lane Kiffin coaching the team. And so we are just going to punt. We're not going to talk about this anymore. If you look at Lane's Twitter feed, he's not tweeting unless it's about his son's high school football game Friday night. He's not tweeting. I'm sure he was told to stay off his phone. Don't make this about you. Minimize as much as possible. This is a short news cycle. I'm sure it'll ramp back up at game time. That's all the broadcast will talk about. But we've got to put in a week of practice for this Egg Bowl, in which we cannot have split allegiances. And you can do what you want to do. It's going to be quiet. We're going to try to have a normal week as much as possible.
Well, somebody needs to talk to the chancellor at Ole Miss, because he went on a podcast this morning. Yep. What's the podcast called?
It's the Super Talk. It's the Super Talk Mississippi. It's FM radio.
Yeah, so Andrew Cross is the host of it.
Richard Cross.
Richard Cross. Excuse me. Yeah. I don't know why I said Andrew. Richard Cross is the host of it. He interviewed the chancellor for Ole Miss, and the Ole Miss chancellor said this. I want to get your instant reaction to it.
Okay.
Staff, they're absolutely amazing, and they do a tremendous job all up and down the line. And Coach Kiffin has done a great job putting together that coaching staff, and that coaching staff is really where the players stay focused. That coaching staff is the ones that keep them grounded. It keeps them led, and it makes sure that they're ready and prepared to play the game. And so I'm excited about the fact that this coaching staff has done this kind of job this year with this team.
Okay.
That brother's gone, right? Like that.
Yeah, this kind of proves my point. All right, so this is the most criminal aspect of what Lane has done in the sideshow becoming the main show in Lane Kiffin is that you've missed out on so many. This is a storybook season for Ole Miss. Yes. This has been a Division II quarterback coming from he was going to Temple and instead changed his flight direction to Oxford, Mississippi to be the backup at an SEC school and starting and being absolutely amazing in 10 games for Ole Miss, leading them to what's a win away from a playoff and a home game in a playoff at that.
Right.
And you take that, and that's a storyline to itself. Not to mention, and storylines are storylines whether they're good or bad. Tragedy hit this team a week before camp started when 3 players were shot and 1 player killed a week before fall practice. And you have overcome that. There are so many amazing storylines. The coordinators have done an incredible job. All this. And so what has been missed because of all this is all this crap is not being talked about. You've got a guy who's leading the country in touchdowns, and nobody knows his name because instead of the coach going on the podium and talking about how amazing of a game Kewan Lacey had against Florida, he's having to talk about coaching rumors. You're not talking about this stuff. So Glenn Boyce, who is the chancellor at Ole Miss, got on the phone. He said, all right, in my opinion, this is what happened. They told Lane to worry about coaching, stay off the phone, stay off media, stay off of interviews, do game prep, put your best. We're going to take the messaging away from you and try to put it on what we believe is important. And that is what the players have done this year, the storylines with Trinidad Chambliss, the tragedy that stuck, the coordinator's doing a good job, and we're going to put the onus on things that actually reflect greatly on this university as we approach a playoff run. Because what happened last week was terrifying if you're an Ole Miss fan, because not just the Lane stuff, but then the committee started putting out sources from the committee started saying, like, hey, Ole Miss could drop if their coach leaves. Drop with a win to where you're not hosting. With a loss at 10-2, or a solid 10-2 team, I think Ole Miss is just toast. There's no way they're putting in a 10-2 team without Lane Kiffin, because the storyline is, oh, this is a chaotic situation, and we're gambling on, good games, and we're not going to gamble on a 10-2 team that just lost their coach. So you're taking and you're trying your hardest to make the storyline about Trinidad Chambliss, about Joe Judge and Trinidad Chambliss' relationship, a former NFL head coach that has found success here at the college level, and a D2 quarterback that has found success here at Division I in the SEC, and Kewan Lacey, who should be in the Heisman talk, and how this team has overcome from tragedy before the season even started to a 10-1, potentially 11-1 season. That you're trying to fix your messaging. Everything that's been missed because of Lane and the detriment that it could cause the selection committee to focus on Lane, you're trying to make them focus on something else, anything else, and things that honestly should be talked about a lot more.
But you're also dealing with a coach who wants to be the main focal point of the conversation. And so I guess my frustration is, or not my frustration, when I heard that clip, I understand what you're saying. They're trying to change the narrative, but you only put Lane Kiffin on the back burner when the decision has been made. Lane's not going to be a part of this program moving forward.
Or or it's just a wild card. Like, you just don't know. Because I truly believe that if Lane was leaving, then I don't think he leaves that interview. If he were to tell Glenn Boyce and athletic director Keith Carter that I'm going to LSU a week from Saturday, then I don't believe you can employ him any further. Like, it just works against everything else. Like, he's recruiting your players that are on staff. That becomes public knowledge, and you're letting him coach. It's just not how this works anymore. I think Lane is, I think he's not as complicated of a man, and not as, he's not what we think he is. I think that he is a genuinely a man torn, but he lives in the spotlight and he likes to troll. But at its essence, I believe this is a this or that conversation, and it is just as simple as you want to go to LSU, but you have to give up your playoff run, and that is something that is extremely torn in that. and Kiffin's a lightning rod. He's going to be talked about regardless of whatever else goes on. He's the hottest name in coaching. That's just the topic. Just the topic. He's missed multiple opportunities to talk about his team and a playoff run because he's talking about this, and it's his own fault. It's his own fault. Don't get me wrong. Any coach, 99 coaches out of 100 would coach their playoff team. It wouldn't even be a topic of conversation. Like, that's just not something. Kurt Cignetti. If Penn State opened up, most people would call it foolish that he wouldn't take the Penn State job. But you know what? Indiana's making a run now. Yep. And he signs the dotted line. It could be that simple, and it's just not. I don't think Lane knows what he's wanting to do, although I do think that there is a reason. I don't think that Lane is ready to say that I'm giving up on this team in the playoff run, but the truth of the matter is he doesn't truly want to stay, or he would have signed. It's that simple. Yeah, and to make things even weirder, you want to go super nuclear on how weird this could get? Ole Miss gets in the SEC championship game, could play a week from Saturday in Atlanta for the first time ever if Ole Miss wins, and then you've got Alabama loses the Iron Bowl and Texas beats Texas A&M in rivalry games in which the spreads on both of those are less than 6. Weird. That would not even be weird if Auburn beat Alabama and Texas beat Texas A&M. Then Ole Miss would be in the SEC championship game, and you're going to want to have to punt this again.
Yeah, I just think Ole Miss I think the Ole Miss administration hold all the cards here. I really do, because I think
they don't though. They don't though, Kenny, because there's nothing they can do. There are options. You could the most nuclear option that Ole Miss has is to suspend Lane Kiffin with pay, and then it becomes, you're getting into kind of a war there, because Lane Kiffin is under contract to coach this team. Until he walks away, you can't fire him. There is no offset clause in his contract, so if you fire him, you owe him $30-ish million, and he's still going to take the LSU job the next day.
But he just wants to have his cake and eat it too. He wants to be able to go to where he wants to go, and he wants to be able to coach his team all the way to the very end. And that's where I think Ole Miss, the administration, hold all the cards, because they can say, "Sorry, here's what you're going to do. You are going to stop tweeting. You're going to stop doing these Pat McAfee interviews where you make us look foolish in every single way."
He looked foolish in that interview.
I
think Ole Miss is smelling like roses right now.
I agree.
I think that Keith Carter's done an incredible job, but the problem is I cannot say, and I'm in it, man. I'm all the way in it. I'm a lifetime guy. I've been in the weeds with this. I have no way of being able to agree with you saying Ole Miss holds all the cards, because that ultimately means that they can have they can make Lane do what they want to do, and they can't unless they fire him. And they're not going to fire him because you're going to owe him $30 million, and it doesn't offset. If there was an offset agreement here in which you only owe him what LSU doesn't pay him, then you could fire him right now, because LSU is going to give him more money than Ole Miss was, and there is no buyout.
I'm not saying they hold the cards to Lane's future. I'm saying they hold the cards to how all of this is impacting this season right now going into the playoffs, right? They have the ability to say, yeah, we'll let you coach as long as you shut up, as long as you let us handle all of the media.
But what's if you're going to say that, I have a hard time finding how they can hold his feet to the fire. That's where I struggle. To say you hold all the cards, or to say that you are the dominant person in these negotiations, means you have to have something you've got to have the trump card. And I don't. Ultimately, I think Lane's got the trump card, because he's like, I'm under contract, and if you fire me, you owe me $30 million, and then I'm going to go to LSU. I'm going to go to LSU on my own terms. I could beat Mississippi State, get this romantic feeling about Oxford again, and then I'll just sign the contract.
What do they say? What is the guy want? He wants to go to LSU. I think that's done. I think the decision is done. I think he's gone. I think that part. I think Ole Miss administration has come to the realization he's not going to be the head coach at Ole Miss anymore. The only card they hold, that makes Lane fall in line is, I want to coach this team till it's over. right?
Again, and they're not going to let that happen.
And they're not going to let that happen.
But you know what? They're going to be helped out on that decision because LSU doesn't want him to coach.
LSU doesn't want to coach all the way through. Yeah.
LSU doesn't want to coach it. So he's going to have to piss or get off the pot, and it's going to happen from multiple fronts. And you're just, again, I don't know that the worst that press release kind of did two things. It punted it, yes, but it also left Ole Miss with the thing of saying, like, we know that it's an option that you're going to leave. Therefore, we're starting our search whether you like it or not, whether you're staying or not. Ole Miss is fully conducting a coaching search, and they're 100%. Not hiding it anymore. They have addressed it that Lane could leave, and they are fully going after their next coach. And if Lane stays, then Lane stays. If Lane leaves, then I think Ole Miss will get the coach that Ole Miss wants.
Yep. Do you think that Jared asked? Do you think the Egg Bowl result has any impact on whether he leaves or not?
Yeah. I mean, if he loses, he's out. I mean, if he loses, he won't be welcome back. And they would have, if he tried to sign there wouldn't be a contract left for him to sign if he loses.
Could you imagine that would be worst case scenario for Lane Kiffin? What
are you talking? Like, this would be like a nuclear reactor melting down in Oxford, Mississippi, if you lose this game. Like, it would be untenable. It would set the program back a decade. Like, I don't really know how you recover from that, because you single-handedly melted this thing down, and then you're going to leave and go to LSU, and you've got a return date in Oxford next year, and you don't have you're not going to the playoffs. You've ruined everything. Everything. Yeah.
You want to talk about Memphis fans have held on to the hate for John Calipari for some years. If they lose this Egg Bowl,
buddy, I mean, you thought the remnants. I'm not even going there. Nope, not doing it. I was going to say something I regret, trying to draw parallels that shouldn't be drawn, but
which is why
it would be awful.
Which is why you should absolutely come to Ground City Brewing this Friday, 11 a.m. at Ground City Brewing. College Football Saturdays. The Egg Bowl will be live on the projector with sound. Rusty will be there. I wish we could get you there, Drew. I think this is the one. I know you can't come, but I
don't enjoy the Egg Bowl. Like, I think Rusty would back me up on this. I'm a diehard Ole Miss fan. I am. I do not like Mississippi State, and but I'm not the guy that's ever texted Rusty and just be like, suck it, or obnoxious about it. Like, I don't really like to be that way. I make jokes, but like, I'm not I'm not filled with vitriol after an Ole Miss win in the Egg Bowl. Conversely, I don't even enjoy winning the Egg Bowl. The Egg Bowl is never a sense of joy in winning.
It's survival.
It is relief.
Type of thing. Yeah, it's relief.
It is absolute relief, especially when you've got everything on the line. I've seen this movie before. Teams have gone down to Starkville and lost to worse Mississippi State teams before. This is the one that's got the most on the line. I've seen Ole Miss lose to Mississippi State before when they're trash. It's not fun. It's not fun. Ole Miss could be up 75-0 in the third quarter. I would not celebrate until it's over. And when it's over, you just exhale and then just be like, oh, now we got to freaking wait till tomorrow to see what our coach is doing. Like, there's just nothing fun about this at all.
Well, I'm more than likely going to be on mic at the College Football Friday show.
I'm sure it's just going to be nothing but a Mississippi State love fest.
Would you like me to? I will commit on air. I'll be your mouthpiece. You text me and I'll say things. How about we do that?
No, I listen. I'll just be 100% honest with you guys. When I watch the Egg Bowl, I have to set my phone down. I don't interact with the outside world because it's Mississippi is different than Tennessee and Arkansas and Louisiana. Like, the whole state pulls in one direction. Like, you've got family members that'll just call you names, and it gets ugly. And again, it's not an enjoyable experience. So I just put my phone down. I watch it in agony, and then if we win, I will just go do something fun with the family. And if we lose, I'll just go home and go to bed. And I'll see y'all Monday morning here on the show. And I'm going, and we also watch. That's not why I'm not going though. This is a family tradition. Thanksgiving, I watch it with my dad. So I'm not skirting Rusty. I'm not scared of Rusty, but I do watch this with my dad.
Well, if you're in Memphis or if you're in Oxford and you want to come and enjoy the game with us.
If the Rebs get up 48-0 at the half, I may drive out there.
Let's go.
You know. Again, we're going to sweat this one out to the very end. I know it.
Yep.
All right, that's going to do it for the Monday edition of the 2 Buck Sports Show. I'm Uncle Buck, joined by Honorary Buck, Blockhead, Stumblefield, Kenny Stubblefield, producers on the 1s and 2s, and he just wicka word. And we'll be back tomorrow. Rusty will join me for our Tasting Tuesday segment. We will recap the inevitable win for the Memphis Grizzlies over the Denver Nuggets tonight.
Let's go.
And we'll be on an all-time high. I'm not big into karma and the ether and speaking it into existence, but I'm doing it now.
We're doing
Grizzlies
it now.
win. Grizzlies win by 50 tonight.
Give me a score. Give me a score.
Well,
120 to 70. How's that? 120 to 70.
101.99. We ain't getting to 120. So that'll do it for today's show. Remember to be a friend to someone who needs a friend, as Rusty said, and we will be back with you tomorrow. Smile.
Thank you for listening to the 2 Buck Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.